So when you shop, do you tend to buy fair trade or environmentally friendly organic products?
Yeah, well, my preference is always to come and support the local communities and the local produce. I think that's very, very important, especially in today's society.
Why do you tend to shop here as opposed to the supermarket?
Oh, because the food's much fresher and the atmosphere is nice too. We have our regular spots that we go through, the lamb and the cheese and olive oils, and you know that it's nice and fresh.
It's great fun, you come out and you get to sample a lot of the things. It's good food. The people are really nice. You can speak to the farmers directly as well.
What sort of produce do you buy?
Well, what looks good and fresh in the fruit shop.
You mentioned bread before. What other sorts of products do you tend to buy organically or from farmers markets? Or?
Chicken. Definitely.
Well, why is that?
Oh, it's just so pumped full of all kinds of stuff these days.
What are you selling in your stores
We're
today?
selling pickles, spices, pastes and curries.
What's on sale here at your store, folks?
We're mostly selling garlic and leeks, but really we specialise in garlic.
Do you think it's really important to the people that come and buy your produce about what actually goes into it?
Yeah, definitely. We let them know, exactly what's in them. We tell them different ways they can heat up their product, different ways they can evolve it. So if they want to add extra vegetables or extra meat to any of the products, they can. Or if they want to use any of the chutneys and cooking and stuff, then they can as well.
What about the price though? Is it more expensive?
Depends where you shop. I'm part of a cooperative, so it's an organic cooperative, and being a member you get a discount, and it's a not-for-profit obviously, so they don't make any profits, so it's reasonable prices, so it's fine.
Is cost a big sort of factor?
I think so, yeah, it does. Especially for stuff like meat and stuff that's more expensive,
Do you notice an increase in the price of food lately, the last couple of years?
Yeah, past weeks, yes, definitely.
Certainly grain prices are through the roof at the moment, so we have to reflect that price increase in the price of our end product. We sort of keep to roughly the supermarket price, and because we do it all, we can keep our costs fairly tight.
In the lower socioeconomic groups, I don't really think they've got the choice. So,
do you think it's a price thing, or do you think it's just lack of availability? They don't.
I think it's price. In this country, organic is less available than it is in other places that I've lived in the world. I find it difficult to find the product that I want.
I'm a bit sceptical about the whole food miles argument. I think that it's a lot about restricting free trade.
But on the whole, we like to buy local things.
But, But, as I said, our priority is to buy fresh produce, and fresh produce isn't going to be, on a ship for 6 months, so...
How long has Toby's estate been a fair trade?
We've been buying fair trade beans now for about 7 years, and we've seen over that period a very sort of steady increase in the demand, particularly for fair trade. It's something that we do push. We are interested in promoting the idea that people get a fair day's wage for a fair day's work.
How many retail outlets does Toby's have at the moment?
Well, there's 4 actual Toby's outlets, but we supply to well over 100 retail outlets across Sydney, New South Wales and into Australia.
Where do you get your fair trade beans from?
We get them from right across the world. We get some from Papua New Guinea, they come from East Timor as well. Although with the recent conflict there, it's been more difficult to get hold of them. We get them from parts of Indonesia, in Kenya, in Africa. There's some from Ethiopia. Right across the world, wherever beans come from.
What percentage of your product is fair trade?
Well, as I said, about 7 years ago it was 0, and now it's probably up to about 40% of the wholesale beans we sell.
What are the ethical reasons why people choose fair trade, do you think?
Well, it's interesting, talking to people about it, and I think it really comes back to that idea that, coffee, it's a luxury good in many sorts of ways, and people like to think that they're giving a bit back. But it is something that's really been taken up in places like the Good Living Growers Market down here in Pyrmont in Sydney. It's something that's very popular. Yeah, and people are often coming up and saying, which are your fair trade ones, and we sell out of them quite quickly, like I think we have today as well.